Welcome to episode 239 of the Gaming Meal podcast. As always, we are here to deliver some gaming related news and discussions in the form of a three-course meal. However, this will be a little bit different. I am the only host for today's podcast. I didn't want to go too long without posting a podcast, so I'm going to do this solo. And for today's episode, we're not going to really have a main course per se. I'm just going to go over three main news or big news that have come out recently, and one of them will actually be a couple of games that have come out in terms of reviews impressions. So with that, I will take it away. All right. So again, the first news that I wanted to talk about today is, and this is more fun for me since I'm doing this solo, is I want to talk about some recent game reviews that have come out, particularly three games that have come out recently that have had reviews that I have been able to play in length, and I'll be able to talk about them real quick. And I'm going to go over them based on OpenCritic review scores. And I'm going to go first with Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 came out just about 2 weeks ago. At this point, it feels like the October time frame for video games is very, very busy. There's so many games coming out weekly, and we're still at the assault because apparently Outer Worlds 2 comes out next week, and that's getting great reviews. So I'm going to have to find some time to play that. So Battlefield 6, it came out. Apparently one of the news that we want to talk about was it sold over 7 million copies in its first 3 days at launch. That is great news for obviously Electronic Arts, which has recently been acquired / gone private. And it shatters records for Battlefield as the biggest launch in the franchise's history. So yeah, Battlefield is very healthy. I have been playing it almost constantly, almost every night in the last, again, week or two. I'm mostly a medic recon, if you know what that means. Basically the different classes in Battlefield. And it's classic Battlefield. Some of the challenges can be a little bit difficult, but that's kind of part of it, where I've been trying to do some of them here and there. And yeah, it's got very interesting maps, a lot smaller maps than you would think about for other Battlefields, if I recall in the past. So there's really not much empty time when it comes to running around, and there's nothing to do. Like if you spawn in any one of the spots, if you're playing Conquest, like you have a giant area, you need to basically capture as many of the territories as possible and burn the tickets down of the enemies. You're gonna have action relatively quickly after spawning, which is really good. So again, and I'm gonna keep this short. So that's been a lot of fun. Battlefield 6, again with an 84 on OpenCritic. That's one of the three games that I wanted to cover. And again, I'm trying to do this quickly because otherwise I could basically be monologuing for half an hour. The next game is Pokemon Legends CA. So okay, this has an 83 on OpenCritic. And it's interesting, this is one of the big Nintendo Switch 2, or Nintendo Switch 1, because it's also for Nintendo Switch 1. Games that came out. It's a new Pokemon Legends game. There's another one previously a few years ago called Arceus. And that basically revitalized, rethought the formula for Pokemon. So this one kind of does the same thing. And it brings us an active action system or combat, which is interesting because Pokemon has always been turn-based, very RPG, Japanese RPG like, where you can't move during battles, right? It's not active combat like a Witcher or anything like that. So yeah, it's very interesting combat. And on my channel, CyberEric Gaming on YouTube, there is a video that kind of explains the gameplay of it, so feel free to go check that out. I'll say this, the game has good and bad. The combat system, I think, is great. I actually love it. I actually would hope future Pokemon games incorporate something like this, because it makes it so that no longer are you playing around and you're basically capturing what are the 4 strongest moves that a Pokemon can have and have those. Because the stronger the move here, the longer the cooldown, because it's an active combat system. If you can't attack for another, let's say, 10-15 seconds, you're gonna get killed. So a small dumb attack like Quick Attack becomes extremely useful because it's got a cooldown of 3 seconds. Is it weak? Sure, but it comes back quick, which means you can use it multiple times. and it just and other moves like Leer or anything like that. If you know what the Leer is, basically lowers the opponent Pokemon's defense stat. If moves like that actually are helpful because as you're basically waiting for the cooldown for your attacks, you can use some of these support moves that usually, to be perfectly honest, you really didn't need them in previous Pokemon games that much, but in this game they're really useful. So I'm looking forward to how the community evolves and learns from this combat system. But the bad part of Pokemon Legends CA is honestly the map and the whole system. Capturing Pokemon is still fun, right? It's still basic. Lower the Pokemon's health, draw a Pokeball, grab him. The problem is that it's only you're stuck in this big circular city, which again it's a big city, but it's very empty. There's nothing else to do. It's like a PlayStation 2 level era open world map, and there weren't open world maps in PlayStation 2 because there was nothing to do in those open world areas. And this game is like, unless you have a side quest, there's really nothing to do unless you go to like a wild area or you're at night and you're going into one of the combat areas. So it's an interesting take because it's like the setting is extremely boring because you're never outside. You're always in the city. You're never in the wild. So that urban environment, that could have done a lot better. Like it's very simple that way, but again, there's plenty of things to do, but just it gets really boring very quickly. So I can see the positives and the negatives. I think those are the complaints that I've seen the community complain about. But again, I'm still playing it more. I think I had like 20 hours into it, but it's a fun game. The last game I want to talk about real quick, this is Ninja Gaiden 4. This is the latest game from Team Ninja in coordination with Platinum Games. So combat royalty here for developers. It's got an 82 on OpenCritic. And yeah, it kind of brings the series back where I kind of forgot how this game's played. And by the way, I went back and played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which recently got a remake, just to try it out. And I'm like, whew, this combat system is rough, but it's still really good. It's just like, it's difficult. These games are not that easy. You're supposed to parry, you're supposed to move around, you're supposed to find blocks, and the enemies can do the same to you. And in Ninja Gaiden 4, it has a couple of things that will help you make it easier. For the most part, there's so many quick, fast-paced combos here and there that it's like, it's an adrenaline rush to play this game. I'm still going through it. I'm still like in Act 3, 4. And I'm unlocking a couple of weapons, different ninja moves, different things that you can buy. You can upgrade your character with different moves, different combos. It's interesting. The whole blood thing they have where you can activate something to expand your weapon, make it blood related or red, whatever you want to call it. I forgot the exact terminology the game uses, but it's interesting. It's not bad. But that's Ninja Gaiden 4. I am still playing through it. I am gonna make a video for my channel, CyberEric, so again, feel free to look forward to that. There's other games that have come out. For example, I was playing a game called Ball X Pit that came out for Xbox Game Pass. It's also it's gonna take War by Storm. I probably will make a video of that as well on my channel because I had a lot of fun with it, and it's like this roguelike breakout game. But more on that later. I'll probably talk about it with Manny and others in the podcast when we come back next week, hopefully.